Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm very excited kasi finally matetest drive ko na itong Toyota GR Yaris. Ito yung small hatchback na rally car in disguise. Pinahiram ako ng aking kaibigan itong kanyang unit para ma-review ko. Ito is bagong-bago pa. Mamaya, malalaman natin kung anong special about this car. Ito nga pala yung 2025 model na automatic transmission na. Ang price niya is 3.55 million. While yung manual version is 3.4 million. Alam ko dati available lang siya sa manual transmission. Ngayon naglabas na ang Toyota ng automatic transmission. Ito nga pala yung latest GR Yaris na may konting tweaks pagdating sa design. Especially sa taillights and sa bumper. And as well as ito na yung updated na interior na controversial. Let's see in the flesh kung yung bagong design ng interior is that bad gaya ng sinasabi ng iba compared dun sa previous na iteration. A short background lang about Toyota GR Yaris. What makes this hatchback special? Sa mga car enthusiast, favorite nila ito simply because of its sheer performance. The GR Yaris stands out because it's not just a modified version of the regular Yaris. Itong car na to was designed for rallying but was adapted for the road. The GR Yaris was designed from scratch with motorsport in mind. So, ginawa siya to meet the World Rally Championship homologation requirements. So, basically, Toyota has to make a road-going version of its rally car. So, dun pa lang, alam mo na hindi joke yung car na ito. It might look small from the outside, but it has sheer driving performance when it comes to driving dynamics. Actually, what sets it apart from other cars is its sheer amount of power in a lightweight body. Imagine having 280 PS in a small car body. So yung power to weight ratio nito really stands out. Anyway, let's start with the review at tingnan natin yung certain details nitong GR Yaris. Okay, simulan natin sa exterior. Very sporty yung design ng kanyang front fascia. From the previous iteration, dito sa newer model, pinalaki niya yung mga vents niya. At nawala na rin yung fog lights to accommodate yung bigger vents niya. As you can see in the lower portion, yung kanyang intercooler na may GR4 na nakasulat. Sa previous model, walang ganyan nakasulat. At meron ditong additional vents for cooling. Even yung for cooling ng front brakes. What I appreciate here is wala siyang fake vents. Everything here is functional. And that's a good thing kasi yung ibang cars meron mga fake vents na hindi magandang tingnan. Pagdating naman sa headlights, it's 3-tier, full LED at maganda yung illumination niya sa road. And with its high output rating, you need bigger brakes. Sa front niya is 4-pot system at dun sa likod naman is 2-pot system. In a detailed manner, is 356mm ventilated disc sa front at 297mm ventilated disc naman dun sa likod. So yung ganitong braking system offers strong and consistent stopping power, reducing yung sinasabing brake fade. From the side, I like yung design niya, especially yung bulging fender niya. It makes the car wider and at the same time masculine. Even though maliit siyang sasakyan. And you have here the GR logo and naka-blackout din yung side mirrors niya. Pero wala siyang 360 camera. At yung side skirt niya is well integrated dun sa design ng body. So very quirky and sporty talaga ang design niya, especially pag two-door. And another weight-saving aspect nitong GR Yaris is yung carbon roof niya. And then you have that integrated rear spoiler pero wala siyang third brake lamp. Ang biggest change is yung sa taillight niya. Ngayon meron ng LED bar that runs across the vehicle. Dati kasi walang ganyan sa previous iteration. Tapos meron siyang GR4 badge dito sa left side at dun sa right side naman merong GR Yaris badge. The nice thing here is naka-dual tip exhaust siya. For a 3-cylinder, okay naman yung sound niya. Tapos yung rear suspension niya is double wishbone with coil springs. Sa harap, naka-MacPherson strut siya with coil springs. Punta tayo sa controversial part nitong GR Yaris updated. From the pictures na nilabas ni Toyota, maraming nagreklamo because of its design. Pero actually, it's not that bad. It's a driver-focused dashboard design na mafe-feel mo yung mga nostalgic designs ng mga 90s vehicle. Ang bad thing lang talaga is lahat ito is made of hard plastic. So check natin yung mga details sa loob niya. Dito sa top is hard plastic at dito sa armrest area is alcantara or suede material. At dito naman yung switches for locking the doors at saka yung pag-open and close ng windows. Pero yung material used in the cabin, even yung mga switches niya at itong portion na to is hard plastic. Andito naman yung switch ng adjustment ng side mirror. Nandito naman yung switch ng intercooler water spray, sa baba yung auto trip meter switch. At dito sa lower portion, nandito yung sa headlight adjustment at saka yung switch ng headlight. Ito naman yung lever sa pag-open ng hood. At naka-sports pedal din nga pala siya. Yan yung kulay silver na yan. Ito naman yung kanyang sporty steering wheel. It's leather wrap with white stitching. At nandito sa lower portion yung kanyang GR na badge. At dito naman sa left side ng steering wheel yung mga switches for the instrument cluster. At nandito naman sa right side yung switch for the cruise control. 8-speed automatic transmission siya at meron din siyang manual mode. So, in combination with that, you can use yung kanyang paddle shifter. Then, it's also tilt and telescopic steering wheel. Ito nga palang itsura ng kanyang instrument cluster. So, meron siyang different drive modes. Merong eco, merong sport, saka normal. By the way, ito nga pala is all-wheel drive. You can also switch to gravel at saka yun sa track. So, yung modes na to changes the torque split ng all-wheel drive system niya. Ito naman yung switch niya for the eco, normal, and sport modes. So, makikita mo yan dun sa instrument cluster again. So, ito yung love or hate ng mga tao pagdating sa design ng interior niya. It reminds me of the dashboard ng lumang A86. At the same time, nung Mark IV na Supra na nakatit lahat towards the driver. The bad thing lang talaga is yung material. It's all hard plastic for 3.5 million. Another thing na hindi ko nagustuhan is yung infotainment screen niya. Andito naman yung kanyang hazard button at nandito sa lower portion yung kanyang start-stop button. Nandito naman yung control for the climate system. It's dual zone climate control. What I like though here is madali lang matutunan yung interior system since sobrang simple lang yung layout ng buttons and it's very easy to navigate. May napansin lang ako dito, may mga vacant na buttons na hindi magandang tingnan. And the nice thing is pwede mo siyang lagyan dito ng additional buttons at nandito yung switch ng traction control at nandito yung 12-volt socket. So, ito na yung center console niya. It's made of plastic. Simpleng-simple lang. At ito na yung kanyang shifter and you can also use manual mode if you push to the left. Yung kanyang handbrake is manual pero wala siyang armrest. Instead, nandito yung dalawang cup holders. It's all plastic material here. By the way, meron nga pala siyang Type-C port dito sa may dashboard area wherein you can put yung inyong cellphone. At nandito yung kanyang glove box. Yung aircon vent niya dito sa harap is bilog. Tapos dito sa A pila, nandito yung tweeter. Check naman natin yung sunshade. So dito sa may driver side, meron siyang vanity mirror pero wala siyang ilaw. Dito sa passenger side, ganun din, meron din siyang vanity mirror pero wala siyang ilaw. Nandito naman yung switch for the interior cabin light pero wala siyang sunglass holder. Yung rear view mirror niya is auto-dimming. So, meron siyang switch dito. Ito nga pala yung details ng kanyang upuan. Meron siyang GR badge dun sa headrest, alcantara dun sa gitna, tapos dun sa sides naka-leather. Nandito sa baba yung area ng VIN number. Tapos, meron na rin siyang kasamang matting na may GR na badge. So, really, napakasimple lang ng interior niya. Okay, pasok tayo dito sa rear seats. Medyo challenging kasi masikip. So, kailangan i-move forward mo itong passenger seat para makapasok ka dun sa loob. Yan yung driver seat position ko. So, pag umupo ako dito sa likod, so yan, medyo masikip. Medyo may konting space ka pa naman na makakagalaw ka ng konti. Pero yung kanyang headroom dito sa likod, medyo mababa. I'm 5'7" in height at almost sumayad na yung ulo ko. So, kailangan medyo mag-recline ako. Dito merong speaker and then meron kang armrest. Pero ang liit ng size ng window dito sa likod, parang nakaka-claustrophobic. At ang liit na rin nung glass mo dun sa likod. Wala din nga pala siyang center armrest. Instead, merong parang naka-depress na portion dito. So talagang design lang siya for 2 people dito sa likod. Okay, check naman natin yung rear compartment area. Dito maliit lang yung compartment area. At pag iniangat mo itong cover, makikita mo dito yung location ng kanyang battery. Tignan dito rin yung container dun sa water for wiper. At wala nga pala siyang reserba. Instead, meron siyang portable na compressor at saka meron siyang tire sealant. So, pag na-flat ka, yan ang pwede mong gamitin. So, ito yung portable na tire compressor niya. Okay, that's it dito sa likod. So, maliit lang talaga yung compartment area niya. Punta naman tayo sa pinaka-important part ng car na ito that makes it a GR Yaris. It's a 1.6-liter inline 3-cylinder na tinatawag na G16E engine na turbocharged. Pero even though small displacement siya na 3-cylinder, it delivers 280 PS and 390 Newton meters of torque. So very powerful yung engine niya and it's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. So ito talaga yung binabayaran mo dito. Imagine 280 PS with this small body. So para talaga siyang pocket rocket. Nung unang labas nito, maraming hindi nagandahan kasi it's only 3-cylinder with a high output rating. Pero after a while, natanggap na rin siya because of its good performance throughout the years. So wag mong mamaliitin yung engine na to kasi sobrang ganda ng performance niya. So makikita natin sa test drive mamaya. So makikita natin yung real world performance nitong 1.6-liter engine na ito. So ang bigger factor talaga dito is yung power to weight ratio. With a curved weight of 1,280 kg and then you have 280 PS, sobrang agile at ang gaan nito. Okay, start na tayong mag-test drive. Ganito yung tachometer niya kapag ka naka-sport mode. Kapag ka naman naka-normal mode, nag-iiba siya at bumabalik dun sa default na tachometer design. Okay, start na tayong mag-test drive. So, nandito lang tayo sa BGC area. So, medyo controlled yung environment. So, hindi natin talaga masasagad yung pagka-test drive nito. Pero, itatry natin para ma-feel lang ng konti kung ano talaga yung power nito. Very sensitive yung ano niya, yung manibela. Okay, from a first impression dito sa vehicle nung na-drive ko na siya, it's really a raw experience. When you say raw experience, this means that this car is not digitalized. You can feel the road. Yung ride niya is on the stiffer side. At yung steering feel niya is really sporty in nature. Very direct yung steering feel niya at alam mo talaga kung saan nakapoint yung wheels mo on the road. At ang hindi lang maganda dito is yung noticeable na road noise. At ramdam mo talaga yung gaspang ng road dito sa car na ito. But if you understand its roots and its main purpose, you will understand why ganun ang mafe-feel mo for this vehicle. It's actually a rally car na ginawang road car. So understandable na less priority dito yung comfort, yung NVH, and ang main priority is yung driving feel, yung direct handling niya at yung agility mismo ng vehicle.
Sports mode. Dito eco mode. Tingnan natin sa sports mode.
So, dun sa short stretch na yon, hindi ko pa talaga ibinibigay yung potential ng car na to. Pero alam mo talaga at ramdam mo na malakas talaga yung output ng sasakyan na ito. Given its weight na 1,200 kilograms lang, para talaga siyang pocket rocket.
Okay, mag-manual tayo. Yan nga o yung road noise. Makakapit siya.
Pagdating sa handling niya, wala talaga akong masasabi. Sobrang planted ng sasakyan na ito. At very predictable yung handling niya throughout the corners. Kumbaga, parang wala na siyang body roll at given na it's an all-wheel drive, expect mo talaga no, yung kapit niya sa road is unmatched compared dun sa rear-wheel drive or front-wheel drive. Ito yung car na magbibigay sa iyo ng confidence na i-push mo pa sa limits when you're driving through the corners. And what I appreciate here is yung power delivery ng 1.6 engine. And it's not in a linear fashion. May certain RPM na mararamdaman mo yung surge ng power since it's a turbocharged engine. At 2,500 to 3,000 RPM, doon mo mararamdaman yung kick ng turbo niya. To be honest, nakakalula yung power niya para sa ganitong lightweight na sasakyan. It feels like a go-kart na may high output rating. Pero sobrang lakas na ng hatak niya. What more if isagad mo at i-maximize yung output niya? So I think pagdating talaga sa performance, dito nagsashine yung GR Yaris. At before I forget, yung brakes nga pala niya has a good braking feel. So tamang-tama lang siya sa ganitong power rating. Madaling timplahin yung brakes niya and confidence inspiring siya. Napabilisin because of its good stopping power. At ang maganda dito talaga is yung kanyang all-wheel drive system niya. Ang kagandahan dito, with a switch of a button, pwede mong i-change yung torque split ng front and rear wheels niya. At yung all-wheel drive system niya is maganda talaga, especially kung sa handling department ang usapan. So kapit na kapit siya sa road and even medyo damp yung road, hindi siya nakakatakot na gamitin given its high output rating na 280 PS. Okay, punta naman tayo sa kanyang pros and cons. Ang number 1 pro niya is yung sheer performance niya. Pagdating sa handling, sa braking power, and at the same time yung engine performance niya. Na kahit 1.6 liter lang, it can deliver this surge of power. Another pro niya is yung power to weight ratio niya. Given na this car is only 1,280 kilograms, and with its 280 PS na output, you can really feel how lively and agile this car is. Since maliit lang yung footprint niya, madali siyang i-drive at sobrang ganda talaga ng handling niya. Ang kagandahan nito is pwede mo siyang i-daily drive, which leads me to its third pro, which is yung drivability niya. Since it's actually a Yaris on steroids, you can actually daily this. Okay naman siya at civilized siya pag ginagamit mo on a daily basis. Yun nga lang with some compromises, especially yung stiff ride niya and at the same time yung bad NVH niya. Other than that, it's a comfortable vehicle pa rin given the fact that it's a sportive vehicle. Another pro nito is yung aftermarket support niya. Madami kang mabibiling parts nito. Especially kung mahilig kang bumuo ng sasakyan at maglagay ng mga accessories. Similar siya dun sa Jimny na ang daming aftermarket parts and accessories na talagang masisiyahan ka kung mahilig ka talagang bumuo ng sasakyan. But yung Jimny naman is on a different spectrum. More on off-road naman talaga siya. But dito naman kung gusto mo sporty na maraming aftermarket support, ito'y magandang platform. So, nandyan si HKS, si Blitz, si Grady, si Tom's Racing, si Varis, si Pandem, and so much more. I think yung mga mahilig sa 90s cars that wants those customization, itong car na ito is a good option. To be honest, when it comes to its features, it's very straightforward and very simple. Yun yung mga pros niya. Ano naman yung mga cons? Ang number one con niya is yung NVH niya. Ramdam mo yung road, saka yung ramdam mo yung sound ng tires niya. Dinig mo yung wind noise, and at the same time, yung interior finishes niya, makrik siya. So, kaunting lubak lang, medyo umiingay yung interior pieces niya. Which leads me to its second con, which is yung interior quality niya. For a price of 3.5 million, you expect better materials and better quality. Even though rally car siya, kahit papaano, dapat akma yung interior quality niya sa price point niya. Imagine, 3.5 million ang selling price niya. Hindi talaga maganda yung interior niya for me, especially dun sa mga materials na ginamit. Another con nito is yung interior space. So, pagdating sa passenger comfort, compromise talaga siya. At hindi talaga yun ang priority ng car na ito. Another con nito is yung high selling price niya. So, hindi ito yung car for everybody. Especially kung iisipin mo yung value for money proposition niya. Kasi doon lang sa mga nakakaintindi at alam yung roots ng vehicle na to, ang makakaintindi while it's priced this high. But for some, overpriced siya given na it's a small car with a small engine. So, sa 3.5 million, marami ka nang mabibiling options na mas comfortable, mas civilized, at nandun yung comfort at luxury na hinahanap mo. Dito kasi sa GR Yaris, it's not a digitalized car. It's more on a drive-and-go vehicle for enthusiasts to enjoy. So, yun lang naman ang nakikita kong pros and cons niya. In summary, this vehicle is actually a great vehicle with a lot of potential. Especially pagdating sa performance department. It may be overpriced for some, but yung mga true enthusiasts lang talaga ang makakaintindi. So why would you buy a GR Yaris over other cars? It's actually a true enthusiast car in the time of digitalized vehicles. So kung hinahanap mo pa din yung rawness ng mga dating vehicle, itong GR Yaris is a good example of that. It gives you that reminiscence of old performance cars that doesn't rely purely on technology and advancement. Kasi yun yung nawawala sa mga modern cars today. Nawawala na yung feel at pagka-rawness ng mga vehicles today. Kumbaga, wala na silang karakter pagdating sa driving feel and driving dynamics nila. Nagiging vague na yung mga latest vehicle na lumalabas sa market. On a positive note, yun yung kabaligtaran na mapipil mo dito sa Toyota GR Yaris. It's a fun little car with a character to be praised of. So if you have a budget of 3.5 million and you are a GR Yaris fan, this car is worth it on some aspects, but not perfect for that price point. Okay, I hope nakapagbigay ako sa inyo ng good insight about this Toyota GR Yaris. Sa mga hindi pa nakaka-subscribe sa aking channel, please do so para maging inspiration ko to do more meaningful videos. Okay, hanggang dito na lang. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, See you again in my next vlog. Bye!